At Jones, we've been working in the healthcare IT space for more than 10 years, so we know how to reach healthcare IT decision makers. In fact, we've just helped a long term client launch a marketing campaign that generated nearly 1,000 marketing qualified leads. And more importantly, it generated $115,000 in net new business for the company in just a few months. Now, we all know that healthcare IT purchases involve long buying cycles. We also know that healthcare CIOs, they don't want an immediate sales pitch. That's why it's important to build trust over time with content at every phase of the buyer cycle. Now, we also know that healthcare CIOs tend to look to their colleagues in the field for referrals and recommendations. And this makes content such as case studies and customer testimonials a critical element in our marketing strategies. Now, I want to show you just a sample campaign that focuses on content for each stage of the buying cycle. Of course, this campaign is for a healthcare IT company, and the theme of the campaign is optimizing revenue. Now, regardless of what you're selling, you need to build trust over a period of time. And you do that with content that builds awareness, content that is useful, and content that helps solve a problem. And of course, customer case studies and testimonials, as I mentioned, are critical. So you'll see that we've sprinkled them throughout the campaign. Now, the first piece of content that you see here is an awareness thought leadership report that provides patient and provider statistics that address common revenue challenges for healthcare providers. For example, more than half of Americans delay paying their medical bills. And it's no surprise that many self pay revenues are never collected. And one thing that I thought was pretty surprising is that 1 in 3 patients, they simply forget to pay their medical bills. Now, that's just a couple of the data points that I pulled out of this report. You can see there are many more here. The report also, ties into trends and important issues in terms of optimizing revenues, such as the heavy cost of readmission penalties. Now, the infographic that you see here on the left is another way that we use that data to promote the report. Now, the infographic was leveraged in numerous ways. It was leveraged in blog posts, on social media, and even in industry publications. Now, every time we promoted the infographic, we drove prospects to download the larger report, which of course converted them into leads. Now, the handout you see here on the right is another piece of content that we created, and this was used at trade shows and events to start conversations with prospects. So using that same data in many, many different ways. And one thing I want to point out about this handout for the trade shows is that you can see here we're starting already to incorporate a couple brief customer case studies. Now, we also, on the same topic of optimizing revenue, created some explainer videos. And you'll see, of course, we incorporated case studies. And these videos were used also in numerous ways in marketing, at trade shows, on the website, in email campaigns, in social media. So video is an important part of the component. And then, of course, we promoted the report, the videos, everything, the infographics through blogs and through social media. Now, another key piece of content that we created is an ROI calculator. And that's because we know that ROI calculators are a great way to engage with IT decision makers. So we created this ROI calculator to work very specifically with this campaign, which is optimizing revenue. Now you can see on the right that we encourage prospects to calculate now, but we also point them to additional resources and case studies because, as I said, it's important to sprinkle those case studies throughout. Now, when prospects click Calculate Now, they're asked to enter their contact information so we can convert them into leads. And then, of course, they can begin playing with the calculator. Now, the calculator tallies things that are important to them, like revenue gained, money saved, through money saved from staff time, and of course the all-important ROI. Now it also encourages them to download a report so they can see the detail behind the calculation. And the nice thing about this calculator is that all the data is saved on the back end, so the sales team can view the same report and follow up with the sales lead. So again, the objective was to engage healthcare CIOs and build trust over time by doing a couple of things, offering useful and usable content at every stage of the buying cycle. And of course, giving them customer testimonials throughout because we know that they rely on recommendations from their peers. I'd love the opportunity to connect live so I can learn more about you and your program. Perhaps there's an opportunity for us to work together. So at the end of this video, go ahead and click Book Meeting. There's a Book Meeting button. Click that. You'll have access to my calendar and you can book a time that is convenient for you. If it's easier, there's also a link in my email below. So click that, select a time on my calendar that's convenient for you, and we'll start a discussion. I look forward to connecting. Take care and talk soon.